Let's see if this sounds familiar. You're overworked, you're stressed, you're putting in more hours at the office that you can't even keep track anymore. There isn't a calculator that exists that can count up how many hours you're putting in. But you have a goal, you have a desired financial goal, you have a desired career goal that you want to accomplish. So you're doing what you think what it takes. Let me tell you, I used to be there too. I was hustling my butt off. I was putting in time in my business, in my career, that I just couldn't unplug because I just had these desired goals I wanted to achieve. And it took me a while to figure this out. I took some coaching programs, I took some mentors where I finally realized the one thing that I was missing. It's counterintuitive because most people don't think about it. They don't think that this is something that is needed. A lot of times it's mistaken for being weak and just not having the cojones, not having the hustle, the drive to actually accomplish what you want to do. So what is this one thing? What is this one thing that most successful entrepreneurs, business owners, small business owners realize that you need, that most people don't realize that they do need? We're gonna find out in today's video. All right, so I am here in Cancun with my beautiful wife. What?
Hey.
And this is, I guess, our annual thing. So we make it a point to take a couples trip at least once a year, and just couples, and as in her and I, no kids. You know, we got 4 amazing, beautiful children, but sometimes mommy and daddy need some time away. And I just really think that just ties into what I want to talk about today, is just talking about rest and why it's so important to get unplugged, whether it be, you know, from your kids, sometimes from maybe your family, not so much your wife, but maybe like in-laws and all that stuff. But also too, if you're a business owner, or if you have a job that you are spending a lot of time in, it's so important to take rest. And most people don't do it. And this is something that some of the top entrepreneurs recognize, that you have to take rest. And not just entrepreneurs, we're talking Olympic athletes, we're talking professional athletes. You know, they recognize, like, yeah, you gotta put the practice in, but you have to allow, you know, your body to rest. And it's just something that needs to happen, but most people don't do it because, you know, in this society, I mean, we're all about, oh, how hard can you hustle? How many hours are you putting in? Like, did you go to Starbucks, drink a double shot espresso, and now like you're working 24 hours straight? Like, that's cool and all. And maybe if you're young, you don't have any family, that's great. But when you've got a wife, you've got kids, it's important to take that desired rest. And I started reading this book, conveniently titled Rest. And one of the things it talks about in this book is that rest is not given to us. Like, the world does not give us rest. Rest is something that we have to take control of. Like, if you want to rest, if you want to take rest, you have to be deliberate, you have to be intentional. And that's something that it was really hard for me to come to grips with, just because, like I said, you know, being a business owner, entrepreneur, I just was all about, okay, how much more can I grow the business? How much more can I do? And that's why it's so important to take rest. So what I want to share with you today are, what are some of the 3 key strategies that I've been able to implement rest into my life? And one of the strategies I'm excited to share with you is, like, this is something, it's so simple, but it's such a key concept that changed my business, that changed my family life. And it's something that, like I said, you'll find out it's so simple. And I think once you figure out what this is, you'll recognize how easy you can implement this in your own life as well. Alright, so I know what many of you are thinking, Jeff, I don't have the money, I don't have the time to be able to go to Cancun and get away to take some rest. Like, that's not what this is about. I just happened to be in Cancun recording this video. But the idea of taking rest, I mean, let me just share a concept. Like, this is a simple concept, and I thought about, should I wait to the end to share this concept or share the beginning? But you know what, let me just go ahead and share the value up front. So this concept that I implemented, and this is not a concept that I came up with, this was a coaching program that I was in for 5 years called Strategic Coach. And like, this is the simple concept that I was talking about. So the simple concept is taking a free day. Taking a free day. If you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, this may resonate more than somebody who has a 9-to-5 job, but here's a simple concept of what a free day is. So a free day is a 24-hour period where you do nothing work related. 24 hours where you do nothing work related. Now, many of you might say, oh, that's no big thing, that's easy. Now, for me in my financial planning practice, that was easier for me because I didn't work on the weekends. I mean, there were times like in the beginning, yeah, I would work on Saturdays and, you know, I would at least be thinking about the business and what I need to do to grow the business. But it really became prevalent whenever I started the blog. I really started focusing on the online business. There was no such thing as a free day. I never, ever took a free day. Whether it was answering emails, checking my blog stats, just reading about blogging and how mastering the craft of blogging, I didn't take a free day. And in this coaching program, we had to answer this question, like, how many free days had you taken in the last year? And this was very simple for me to answer because I hadn't taken a free day in the last year. And before joining that coaching program and starting my online business, I don't remember ever taking a free day. What exactly does a free day look like? So for a free day for me this is a day where I am not checking email, I am not reading anything about whatever business that I'm in, whatever industry that I'm in. So I'm not reading blog posts, I'm not reading trade magazines, I'm not listening to podcasts, I'm not thinking about my business at all. And I'll talk about how I do that here in the second point. But that is a free day. And there's no cheating involved. So it's making sure that I am completely and utterly unplugging from my business and focusing on really my family, you know, or focusing on myself, letting my brain refresh. And that's the whole point of taking a free day, is that so many of us just work, and we're always just in that world of trying to focus on whatever it is that needs to be done, whatever the task is at hand, whatever the next project is, whatever the next business venture is. So that's what I did, and that's what most people do. So just being intentional and taking a free day. Now, it's easier to take a free day on the weekends. You know, taking a Saturday or Sunday off, for most people, like, oh yeah, that's no problem. I don't have to go in the office, I don't have to go to work. But taking a free day during the week, whether it be a Wednesday or a Tuesday or just some day in the week, like that's hard for a lot of people, and it was super hard for me. And one of the first things that I did was I scheduled a free day during the middle of the week, which I had never allowed myself to do before, because I always told myself I was too busy. And this first free day was taking my oldest son to his first Cardinals baseball game. And you talk about memories that are being made, memories that I'll remember, memories that he'll remember. And the only reason that happened was because I intentionally took a free day. And that's how powerful free days are. Another thing that free days do is that when I take a free day, you can't help but have things come up, you know, with your business. I mean, like, you're gonna think about things. You know, the key though is not to stay thinking about those things. But when those things come up, you know, when the free day has concluded, I start thinking about, man, what were the things that I was stressing out about? Like, what were the things that I just felt like, oh, I need to do that right now, or if I don't get this done, you know, I'm not gonna be able to, you know, make this amount of money, I'm not gonna close this deal. And I really start thinking about what were the things that I was stressing out about. And it's those things that after the free day is concluded that I asked the simple question, are these things that I should be stressing out about? Are these things that I need to be doing? Or is there somebody on my team or somebody that I can hire to take care of these tasks? And that's the beauty and the power of taking this free day for me, especially if you're a business owner. Because if you are a business owner, I talked about this in a previous video, where you wear so many different hats, and just trying to think about all the things that need to be done, taking a free day forces you not to be there, so you have to plan ahead. You know, if something does happen, if an emergency does come up, like, how is your team or how is your business going to operate without you being there? And you start to think about the things that you're stressing out about, and answering the question, like, do I need to stress out about this? Or is there somebody that I could delegate this to, or assign to somebody else? Or is this another position I need to hire for? And that is the power of the free day. So we talked about taking a free day and how important that is. And when you take a free day, there's so many different distractions, too many things to entice you to get plugged back in and not take a free day and just, you know, immerse yourself back into work, your project, your business, whatever that is. One of the biggest distractions that we all have is one of these bad boys. The smartphone, iPhone, Android, whatever you're using. Now, I love my iPhone. This allows me to run my business when I'm on the road, when I'm out of the country. I mean, it's amazing what technology allows us to do. But technology also is a danger because we cannot get unplugged. So we're here in Cancun having an amazing time, and we're going out to dinner, just stuffing our faces, enjoying our time here. And I can't tell you how many times we've gone out to dinner, just a few nights we've been here, where we've seen a couple, a husband and a wife, sitting there at dinner like this. Like, they're just glued to their phone. And there's one couple, I don't think they talked to each other one time during the entire dinner. Like, I was amazed. Like, I just want to go slap the guy in the head. Like, dude, pay attention to your wife. What are you doing? So maybe you're not ready to jump on the 3-day concept yet. But one of the things you can do is remove the distractions, especially from your smartphone. Now for me, I've removed all notifications, whether that be email, Slack, YouTube, social media, Facebook, Twitter, all the above. I don't have any notifications. I do allow text just because I don't get a lot of text messages, and usually it's my wife or a family member, so I want to make sure I get those. But everything else, there are 0 notifications. And here's another crazy one, and this might blow your mind, but I do not have Facebook on my phone. What? It's just one of those apps that you can get distracted, and it just, how many times I see people at dinner, they're on Facebook, instead of talking to their loved ones or family members or their kids just because they want to find out what's going on Facebook. Like, don't be that person. One way that you can avoid these distractions is just to schedule something or get yourself out of the house. So for example, we have 4 young kids, so we love to play basketball, wiffle ball, football, anything that gets us out of the house and away from electronics and away from those distractions. Or it can be as simple as maybe going to the park or going on a new adventure and checking out a part of the city or a town that is next to you that you've never seen before. But just getting outside the comfort of your own home and forcing yourself to go on an adventure will make it so much easier for these distractions not to become a distraction. One of the cool things about this book, Rest, that I was reading, that it just talked about all these professors and scientists and CEOs and all these high-level big thinkers that have accomplished some amazing things in their lives. And one of the things they talked about how they stayed fresh and how they didn't go crazy by having hobbies and participating in what they call a deep play. And this is just what we just talked about. That could be playing wiffle ball or playing tennis, going sailing, playing golf. Anything that gets you away from your normal routine and just forces you to not think about all the things that are stuck here, and instead just focus on something that's more fun and enjoyable, and just to relieve some of that stress that you may have. Taking rest is super important. It's so hard nowadays because we have bosses that just don't buy into this. We might work for a company that they don't believe this. They just think, oh, you haven't worked 60 hours a week. You're not putting in enough time. That's why I love when I hear about companies that offer sabbaticals or offering paid time off, just so that their employees can get away and not worry about the financial constraints of not getting paid, instead of getting paid and just to unplug and refresh and recharge. It's so important. We all have to do it. We have to find a way that we can stay recharged, not just for our company, but also for our family. So I want to know, are you taking enough rest? Do you actually unplug on the weekends, or are you like some of these people that they just want to hustle all day long, work, 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 work? Don't be one of those people. If you enjoy taking rest, give me one of these, some more of these. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, come on now, what are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? All right, well, my wife is getting ready to get in the hot tub, and that's where I'm going right now. So until next time, peace.